5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
Wow! Good morning, good afternoon, whatever. It's morning somewhere, and I don't even drink, but what the hell. How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday. It is just gorgeous out here in New York. If you look behind me, you can see the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. Today, it's a little cloudier than that, but you get the picture. It looks basically like this, and for anybody who's ever been here, Highlands is a nice place. I'm sitting up here, the lighthouse is behind me, and it's a gorgeous day. It's just, I've been out hanging around outside, working on my studio tan, which has been pretty ghastly white lately, I must say. So, welcome to the show for the weekend. Why is it that everybody I know in the known world calls me on my phone as we're on the show? I'm sorry, folks, you gotta go away. I love you, and telling you, this is fiendish. Come on, people. Some of us got to work for a living. Another one. It's getting crazy. I'm telling you, my crack staff's out there. So, Mandy, I hope you're doing well. We have back in the dressing room the lovely and talented Sharon Lasher, who I've been a big fan of for years. I've been stumbling into her in Asbury Park for, I don't know, God, 5 or 6 years. She's been around way before that, and I have too, but I think I noticed her once at the Christmas gig we were doing somewhere in Asbury Park. We'll have to ask her when we get there. I remember seeing Santa Claus, who's unfortunately demised since then. It was Cook Smith's Solstice gig, that's it. And that was a really good event. And I talked to Cliff, I talked to him around the holidays to try and explore the idea of doing it again. And it got weird because I don't know the details, and I don't even care, and it doesn't matter now. It's not going on, but there was some, I don't know, behind-the-scenes skullduggery, people wanting more than they should, or just, it got weird. And, you know, when you do donation-type gigs, people, you know, just don't screw around. You're going out to have a good night, play for some money, raise some money for a cause. Those guys have always done good things with the money. And I just feel bad. I got the impression it was just a case of too many cooks in the stew all throwing the same spice and making it a black, grody piece of stew. But hopefully this year I'll talk to him again. I'd love to sponsor it with the show. I think it would be great fun. In today's news, it's about 4:05, so we're gonna be having Sharon on, and I'm gonna have Mandy will be on. We're gonna be talking about her latest gigs. It's not often I have 2 redheaded singers in my studio, and that's kind of cool. As some of you know, I was married to a redhead, so God knows I'm getting a little nervous. Better behave myself. You know, they can get pretty rough with you. But boy, there's some hot and wild women. That's all I can tell you. So speaking of hot and wild women, Martha Stewart was on the cover of Swimsuit magazine or whatever it is. At Sports Illustrated. And I gotta say, old Martha, you know, she's an old girl, and she looked all right. I don't know what other people think, but yeah, I heard some people, oh, she shouldn't do that.
I was fixing my hair. I was like, oh my God, speaking of like looking like a hot mess, like.
Oh God, I gotta trim on. I have a nostril hair here that's just like really sticking out. It's driving me crazy in the monitor. It's like, you kind of sit here and I'll be like, oh, which side's it on?
You know, in my opinion, Martha was looking good.
She
Martha,
was.
way to go.
I'm telling you, man, talk about some confidence in life. Why not? She was a model when she was like 18.
Go for it, lady. You know.
Apparently, she had like one of the dumbest men alive. I could admit that a few months of her like rearranging the doilies in the living room might be the kind of thing that might get me a little stressed.
Yo,
It's
she
like-
was looking like a straight up sex kitten. Like she
She
wasn't
was.
arranging
She-
no doilies. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, we call it arranging the doilies at our house. You know?
I'll just say this, you know, we're all getting older, you know. I used to think when I was 13 that, you know, my life would always be made of, you know, the young ladies. And hell, now I'm just an old guy.
Yeah.
They're not looking at me unless I'm driving around in a Porsche and sit my key next to them. And I don't know. Just what can I tell you? Genius works well with inheritance,
You
you
know,
know.
it happens. It
So-
happens.
All right. Black Belt Rick, the Hasidic hitman, has dropped by.
Hey,
He
Rick!
made it here to... What's happening, Rick?
What's
And
up?
For all the fans who've been wondering what's going on with Facebook, it's been screwed up because they booted me. And unfortunately, right at showtime today, I came on and found out that StreamYard had deselected, and there's like a whole bunch of stupid contact crap that I have to do now to put the show on all of my other 6 channels. So they'll be on at about 5 o'clock when I'm done, and it's just a question of throwing a switch. But for those of you who haven't heard the story, and those of you who may have, I found it amusing. As people watch this show, they know occasionally we don't have much sense of humor. We have like the sense of humor King Un John does when he dumps one of his Depends or whatever he wears in that monkey suit as he wanders around. He was like Bill Clinton putting the
What are you
glasses on
getting at?
backwards and looking down the DMZ.
Yeah.
You know, one of Clinton's dudes, like if I was him, I would have had somebody on the team to be like, Neil, you're kind of fucking up. You got the glasses on backwards. I'd be like, what? Oh, who can I blame for that, right?
Talk to me, bro.
But
Let
yeah,
me
but,
know
you
I'm not
know-
here but myself.
So we got all that, you know. Now Martha, I give her credit. She's out there. She looked great. You know, I can't think of any guys like that want to go out and look good at that age or who really look that great. But I know they must be out there. I'll have to let some of
Yeah.
the ladies in the audience tell me.
You know why that is though? That's just competition. We need to get all the younger chicks to smarten them up and be like, listen, don't even mess with these motherfuckers. You know, like they got some work to do on themselves. If a dude is single and like there's you gotta be more. You gotta be a little more selective there. You know, and then guys would have to compete more. Then they'd have to get their shit together.
The guys that first off, they don't get smart until later than the women. The women have us all in high school. None of the chicks want to date you, even if you're a cool guy. I don't know. I was at that point thinking about the teachers, but what can I tell you? I'm sorry. I mean, really, a lot of the chicks when I went from boarding school to Florida, it was just like, what the hell, man? I mean, I made some statement in science class that we do not just have a rib removed and that women all have missing ribs because of God 100,000 years ago. And they were
They
like,
liked it, right?
heretic. And they said stuff like, oh, he's a Catholic, you know. And I mean, it was crazy. But, you know, it's just another way to see the world. Looking through here, though, it's the weekend. I'm trying to find some good stories. Have a few of my lady friends have birthdays this week. I'm trying to find
That's
some fun
what's
news
up.
for them. Let's see here. Okay. I don't know if this is funny or not. Biden stumbled down the stairs in Japan. They really got to do something about the stair thing. This is happening too much. I think an elevator would be like, what? If I was him, I'd be like, listen, first off, you make any more fun of me falling down the stairs, I'm going to send you to the Aleutian Islands for a year. I'm a
true.
different kind of guy, you know.
That's true.
But
Another view would be this. We should also stop sending fucking people to Japan. Every time one of our people goes to Japan, they fuck something up.
well, you know, but the thing is, the people who go to Japan, who are, you know, alive and young and aware, they have a blast. Japan's a great...
No, those people, I mean, like the politicians. Didn't someone throw up in Japan? Like, or
Oh, God, that's actually, there's a word now. That's called to do a bush.
Yeah, right.
It's
Okay.
like-
So that's what I'm saying is like, you know, like we're having a couple instances now. Maybe, you know, it's a little bit of both. You know, not
It's a good thing I'm not the president. 'Cause first off, half of these jokers, and I don't care what party they're in, all these guys who like go on these junkets. We're all flying over to, I don't know, investigate the snail darter in some shithole place. Look, first off, the natives ate all the snail darters. They're gone. You're wasting billions of dollars to find this out. Just go spend a week there asking the locals. They'll tell you. But now, so getting back to some good news here. We've got just crazy news. Sad news. Jim Brown, O.J. Simpson's buddy and pal, has passed. Jim Brown was a hell of an athlete, and I think it's sad that he passed. Sean Penn calls artificial intelligence a human obscenity. I've thought about that with a few people I've known.
Well,
but they'll get theirs eventually. And then they said that the Cannes Festival this year, which is a great thing. I went there like 20 years ago. It's a crazy, insane party. There's just like madness afoot, and it's great.
Nice.
It's totally a good time. But they called this year's, they've had another version of Caligula of all the things that we need to rehash. All I know is Caligula is like, that guy knew how to party. His parties on the weekend were like Motley Crue's bus for 3 years between like 84 and 90. Just insane stuff. So there's a new movie about that there. And it's an irresistible mix of art and genitals. So there you go. That's kind of good news for somebody, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Gynecologists, you know.
The royal family, Harry and Meghan were in New York. And they got into like one of those high-speed death runs up the West Side Highway. That to me was like every night driving off a restaurant row or coming home from a gig or doing something. And like riding at 120 bumper to bumper up the West Side Highway. It's just the way it is. It's how they roll, you know?
Yeah.
But they were apparently caught up in a chase, had to go find police help.
Yeah.
It's like, welcome to New York, people. Get used to it, you know?
I've
been there when there was a bombing about to start, and my friends called from Florida and said, what are you doing? I said, I'm in the city partying. They're like, well, I figured that, but did you know there's like some mad bomber in Times Square? I'm like, well, there's always some lunatic. Is it real?
Yeah. Is it a regular lunatic?
And he goes, no, it's real. It's on the news all over. So I got on the news, sitting on the rooftop restaurant having a blast, and all of a sudden it shows a picture of some goof in Times Square. Got a car full of bullshit, and he's doing his stupidity thing. I don't know. He didn't fare too well, but the thing was, on the way out, I felt distinctly like 9/11 because people were starting to panic who were leaving the area. Mm-hmm. And I'm just telling my girlfriend, hey, chill out. It's cool. Don't panic. Don't start running.
Right.
And as people are running by, I'm going, be cool. This is not a big deal. I've seen it on TV. It's just some idiot. You know, chill out. So,
it's a regular idiot.
It's just a normal weirdo incident. Idiot. This guy's not blowing up much with this rusty Toyota. He's going to die probably with any luck. But at any rate, I go north like 4 blocks, and they've got the cross streets blocked off so you can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
I see a cop sitting there, and I look at him, and my girlfriend goes, what are we going to do? I said, take my keys, my stuff, go down to the parking garage, and undo the car, and come right here to this blockade. So I'm standing there, and I look at the cop, I go, hey, I know you're working, and I'm not here to make your night harder. I'm pulling this blockade out of the way, and as soon as we're done, we'll pull it, but I'm going out to New Jersey, so don't arrest me, because I'm probably not going to, you got bigger problems tonight. Go get Mustafa with the bomb. And so it was a pretty interesting evening. That ride up the highway, which is normally at midnight or 1 morning, pretty fast anyway. It's just like every Yahoo in New Jersey from Morristown wants to get out there in a hurry. And so I'm used to it, but that night, it was insane.
Yeah.
120, like bumper to bumper, people swearing at each other. Not the normal friendly, hi, welcome to New York.
Yeah. Well, you feel it. Like, when energy is bad, like, people need to go with their instincts. We're just animals, Everyone gets that feeling. That's what always kept me out of trouble, as you can get that feeling. You're like, shit. It's like, ooh, I gotta get out of here,
Yes, we are. And Well, amazingly enough, we've killed 15 minutes, and it's time to talk some music and play
That's
some
what's
good
up.
music.
That's what's up.
Let me find a little brand moment here that we can play something for our alien overlords. Let's start with Nancy Kravitz. If you like this song, it's one of my tunes that's almost done and has a movie which we're working on now. It's going to be cool and a lot of fun. But here we go. Some advertising. All right.
Hi, everybody. This is Donna Frost, and I'm live with Neve. See you soon.
See you, Donna.
Nice.
Hey, Donna just won a Mississippi award, like a blues musician of Mississippi of note.
Nice.
And let me tell you, man, that is the land where the blues began.
Yep.
I did some work there with Alan Lomax, his daughter Anna Sharatakis, and senior Alan Lomax Sr. was dead. But it was one of the best times. I just got a call one day. My father has a bunch of DAT tapes. Do they need to be... do you happen to have a DAT machine? And it all started because I called her up and just said, hey, I have a studio. If you need any work done, I'm here.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I got a phone. Next thing I knew, I ended up editing the complete Caribbean collection of Smithsonian Lomax Productions. This stuff was so cool. In the middle of the night, I'd go out and start working on it, comparing. And I swear, you could put on headphones, and when they had gotten a stereo recorder, I listened so many times, but I eventually got where I could hear the panning from the guy running in front of the microphones. It was unbelievable.
Nice.
And
that is bananas.
I'd make notes on each one, and on that one, I was just like, I wrote, holy fuck, this is the crap. You got to hear this.
That's funny. I label some of my shit holy fuck, or like my reads. I know exactly, it's like I don't have time for the 1 through 10 scale. It's like, this is holy shit, that's what you want.
Exactly.
That's right.
So you're a redhead. Our guest's a redhead. She's a singer. You're a singer.
Nice.
So I'm going to let you girls chat amongst yourselves. I'm feeling a little verklempt here. And let's bring on the lovely and talented Sharon. Sharon, welcome.
Hey,
I used to
Sharon.
just call you Sharon Flasher because I liked you, and I make names of people.
Right.
And at the time, I didn't know you had a band called The Flashers. So I was like, I don't know, it's this chick, I said Nancy Flasher, Sharon Flasher. And my friends would be like, who are you talking about? And then I'd say, oh, Sharon Lasher, and everybody around here, of course, would be, oh, yeah, she's good. So here you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
Well,
Nice to have you.
Some premonition of yours to just tune into the Flasher part. Well, and it's easy, Lasher. There's a lot of rhymes for Lasher. I've been called all of them. Yeah, so
Right.
I'm not surprised.
At least they're not calling you Rasher. I mean, yet.
Well,
No,
you know
no.
what? I'm gonna have to say, I haven't had that one yet. So good. That's that one I haven't had yet.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, because listen, if anyone ever said that to you, I'd be like, don't you call her that. That's naughty.
Hey, what's up with
That's
that?
naughty.
And of course, that's why I had to think of something like that. It'd be in the back of classroom, and the teacher would be like, quit picking on Sharon, Neil.
Yeah.
Of course, in those days,
like,
if I was
just
picking on you, I'd
talking.
probably have the
He's
hops for her,
Exactly.
It's like, how when you're in 8th grade, you're like, you kind of, that whiff of sensuality is in the air. And you're kind of like, you like her, so you pull her hair or toilet paper or house.
You put a frog down her back. Yeah.
Oh, God, I never quite did that, but that's a likable thing, I guess.
Yeah. Or
You guys-
the swimming pool, you dunk them, under for a long time because you like them. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what eighth
Yeah.
grade. That's what 8th grade and 9th grade boys used to do. Yeah. But see,
I know that. I know
it
when.
didn't go over well.
No, it never does. And I know that my girlfriend, who I wanted to be my girlfriend, eventually became it. I toilet papered her house. While I was doing it, I
that's
looked
cool,
up,
though. I like that.
and there was her dad peering out the window, absolutely identifying me. He just stood there shooking his head. He kind of didn't give me a bunch of grief because he got
He's
into.
like,
He
"Really,
knew the
man?
whole.
He's
It was
really
like the
mad?"
night before Halloween, goosey night, So he never gave me any grief about it. It was
Call
funny,
it Goosey Night? You
Yeah,
call it Goosey Night? I never heard
that's
that
what they
before.
called it in New Jersey, up in Wyckoff and stuff.
Oh,
They called it Devil's Night, I think, here, didn't they?
No, we just call it Mischief Night.
Mischief Night.
The
Well, I
before,
like that.
Mischief Night.
That's
that
a very
was the egg
direct.
roll and the toilet paper and Mischief Night.
Absolutely,
And-
absolutely.
And then there ended up being a curfew because that's
Because
Well,
you
I think-
ruined Mischief Night with your
that's
hooliganism.
it.
Oh,
Well,
man.
but see, the toilet paper is cool though. That's not so bad. That egg in the house. Now that's a big mess. But I don't know. Toilet
Yeah.
paper in a tree is kind of cool. And they did it like all the high school kids used to like before a big game. Somebody would go around and do that to the
Right.
Oh, for
teams.
sure.
I don't know.
Yes.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, that
I
was
always
pre-COVID
enjoyed it.
times.
While we're here, I'm just talk for a second, Mandy, because I'm just trying to call up some music here, and I'm focused.
Let's see, what do we got going on? Well, Sharon, what do you have going on that you would like to tell us about?
Well, you know what? It's funny, while we were talking earlier, I just booked a gig for July 1st at Colts Neck Pub. It's a
Nice.
new venue for music. They kind of did their place over. They've just been doing music for the last couple of months. Local stuff. But I've been doing a lot of. If you look behind me, I've been doing a lot of gardening. I do that. This is my time of year. I spend my time gardening and singing.
That's so great.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, me too. We might have parallel lives because, that's how it
Maybe.
is
Look,
here
we
too.
could be sisters.
It's like,
Look, we
I
could be
know.
sisters.
It's like
Look at-
happy spring. It's like this is the time, right? You get your glow back, and it's like you're back in it, and you're out on singing, and it's like that's like when Sonic becomes supersonic. It's like
Oh,
and
I
then you
like
got
that.
the plants.
I like that. Supersonic.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it's like.
So I've been
So-
doing we were doing Lasher and the Flashers was 4, 5, 6 pieces, sometimes 7 pieces, and that really it started out as trio. It started out as John Fernandez of the Incinerators.
I do.
Do you know John?
I know.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, look at this. John Fernandez and Paul LaRoot, the bass player. We were going to do something for Light of Day. So that's where the Flasher name came from. I didn't come up with that. I was asking at our rehearsal, so what should our name be? And they were going around stuff. So John Fernandez came up with Lasher and the Flashers. And then he had his son
Nice.
come down. We did a photo shoot. It was hysterical. So I tried to change it after that. But everyone, the guy said, no, because everybody laughs, but they remember. Everybody's going to remember Lasher
Right,
and the Flashers.
right,
So
right.
so that's how it came about, and so it started out as a trio work, and then really where it became the big fun was because of COVID. So here it is, COVID hits, and we're all shut down. Everybody's home, and not only not playing, but isolated in our own homes.
Right.
My parents were 88 years old, so I was following protocol like really what they
Right.
say. So I was really alone, and I was going to go cuckoo. So I just started producing shows. I put my money where my mouth is. I produced 16 outdoor shows during COVID. And here's how the real deal is. So COVID shut down and everybody was home and nobody's touring.
Right.
Well, John Eddy's fantastic guitar player, PK Levengood, who has played with Bruce a million times and with Paul McCartney and so on and so forth, he's now home. And John Eddy is not touring anymore. So guess what? PK Levengood's now my guitar player. Okay? I'm like,
right.
what?
That's
Go right down the line. Gary Oliar, who tours with Loggins and Messina. That's the obvious stuff that people know. His pedigree is beyond imagining. His living in Nashville, all the work that he's done, his multi-instrumentalist, his studio, everything. same thing. He's home. So guess what? He's in my band, and now I have this incredible band. And then past that, because then I started bringing the young bands in. There's like the young Asbury bands, Connor Bracken and Alexander Simone and Hudat, who ended up See Here Now. He ended up on stage as the gospel backup for Pearl Jam. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name.
All right.
So nobody
Very
had anywhere
nice.
to play. So I started doing that, and all these other
Nice.
young people would come and play, and then I would get
Nice.
Tommy LaBella and all these great musicians. So that's how it
Nice.
happened. I made some money on some of the shows. I lost money on some of the shows.
Sure.
Yeah,
But
that's
it
the
gave
beginning.
us all someplace to be. It gave us all someplace to be, and it ended up putting a big, big silver lining on a terrible situation. Mark Ribler was playing
Right.
every weekend at McCann's. He was the only other band. Mark started it, and then we were out, and I was doing my own shows. Then I was playing at McCann's. That was Lasher and the Flasher pop-up parties all
All
through
right.
the winter. It was cold, so we would on Thursday night we'd say it's going to be 45 degrees on Saturday. Let's do a show. So we'd Lasher and the Flasher pop-up party, and everybody would put their parkas on, and we would stand outside.
That's
and
awesome.
have a
That's
show.
that's brilliant.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
It's really
And-
cool you did that. I was in studio the day, I remember back in January or December, that day where one day everything was cool on a Wednesday. And I had like an hour and a half to 2 hours of stuff I needed to do in the studio. Just like punch in one vocal. I wish so bad I'd have stayed the night when I was just dogged out. And I couldn't do it. My voice had been like, it was chord, you know? So I waited and I booked time for that Saturday. The following Saturday, I call up my engineer and my guitar player, and I tell them each, I need you guys to come in. For the guitar player, I just need you for like a half hour. I need you to sew together 2 vocal lines, and then I'm going to stay and mix. I'm going to cut my one cut in. It's one word. It's a punch, you know? Like, how long is this going to take? They both go, sorry, dude, but we have to like shelter in space. And I went, you're sheltering in space on a good day, so what's the difference, you know? Why don't you get your ass down to the studio and we'll get this done quick and I'll buy us dinner. We'll have a nice night. And they're like, no, you don't get it, man. We can't. Like the restaurants, it's not even going to be open.
You hadn't
I had
got
not-
it yet.
Well, I knew it was going on, but at that point, I'll be honest, I was still just wanting to finish the damn record. I thought I didn't think it was going to get me that quickly.
I don't care. That's right. Nothing.
I'm like, I said to him, I go, we'll be done on Saturday, man. You'll have a year to sit around at home. And so then it turned into 2 years of fuckery.
Well,
I mean-
we had to find something to. We had to find something to keep us going. Well, the other thing
That's
that I
right.
did, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, I think I was the first one to do this, and I mean the first one, because Paul Simon and all these other guys started doing. But I believe that during COVID, I was the first one to do the Brady Bunch style video where we were all in our own homes. We were all in our own homes. So I did Bonnie Raitt and Linda Ronstadt. I did.
I remember seeing those when you did them, and I was wondering, how's she doing that?
I didn't do it. I asked for it to be done, and Lance Highland Stark was my drummer. He knew how to do it. So what we all did, we sat in our living room like this, just exactly like this, headphones on, this thing. We taped ourselves. Lance put down a beat for us, but he laid it down. So we had a little background, and we all did our part in our own space. We sent the video, and just on our cell phones. That's all. Just on those. I think it looked pretty darn good.
It was damn good.
Excuse me. Sent them to Lance. Lance put them together, did all his Brady Bunch stuff with it, and they were fantastic. And then after that,
Excellent.
we started seeing. But
Oh,
somebody has to
I
show me
believe
if
you were
any-
the first.
anybody did
Yeah.
it sooner. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
believe
you
you
were
will.
definitely early because I remember thinking
Nice.
how cool it was. And then a lot of people started doing it. And I was sitting here. That's how the show started, too.
Not for nothing.
I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Driving my girlfriend crazy. I better get something going on. And here we are. 2 years later, I got all kinds of cool friends. But hey, we're going to take a quick Profit Center break. And we'll be right back. Live with Neve and Sharon Lasher and the lovely and talented Mandy She. And I'm your host,
Thank
the
you.
Antichrist. We'll
There's some changes headed, like the Gulf Stream rising, like some gale that's been blowing off this wild bird island shore. And I can't say where, and I don't know when, but some old door's been opened in the restless shade. Poor man sagging cigarette takes the subway home. Rich man folds
Carlton Wilkinson. Inside Voice is available anywhere you can find any music, anywhere. And that's right, Carlton Wilkinson, a good friend of mine,
Nice.
got a great record out. And this dude has got more chops than I know what to say. I went over just to hang out. We're going to have a cup of tea. And he sat there and he has this incredible harpsichord that he's had like rebuilt. It's like 100 years old. And that thing sounds like pure glass. And he sits down and he's like, what do you want me to play? I'm like, I don't care. You know, I'm like, well, how about you play some Warren Zevon? He cracked up. And he played, instead he did some Bach. And it was great. Because
He did it. Warren Zevon on the harpsichord. That'd be pretty cool.
I had a couple of ideas for him that I thought he could do that would be really cool. And we'll see if I can persuade him. He's working on another project, so... You never know where we get our inspiration. I just thought Warren would dig it if we took one of his tunes and just made it funky and cool, but a little different than the
Why not?
treatment,
Why
you know?
not?
And so, while we're here, I have a couple of tunes queued up. I was having some technical difficulties, so I picked a couple that I think are okay.
Oh,
Do you want to...
no, you didn't.
I'll tell you what, if you can hold on for a minute, we'll just take a second. I'm trying to get your... I'm just having a problem getting it to play on my computer. I apologize, but let me
No
see what I
worries.
can... we're going to go
Yeah.
here,
And
and...
while you're waiting, the Nancy Kravitz that it started out with, she's a terrific photographer and a terrific person. I love her. She's taken some really wonderful photos for me. She's just terrific. Love her.
You know what? She is. She's one of my best friends, and her husband Dan. I've just been friends forever. Dan's played guitar in my band, and we've two just great
I didn't
folks.
know that. That's great. I didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah, Danny's like my blood brother, I have to say, and he just had a birthday, and I wish everybody in the world was more like those two, because boy, life would be a lot easier. You know, just a real couple of sweethearts.
Well,
And,
she's her vibe. She's just real sweet. Yeah.
We're gonna get her up there to take care of the twisted ginger and her twisted bunch of merry men.
Oh yeah. I'm wearing one of my shirts today too. I don't know if you can see
All
it.
right,
Woo!
very nice.
Reppin'!
We gotta
You
definitely.
wait a minute. You are Twisted Ginger?
That is her.
You
Like
are Twisted Ginger? Why didn't you tell me that?
Like this is my band? That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yes!
that's
Oh my
what's
God!
up.
Why didn't you
Hey.
tell me this?
Because this isn't a...
I love it.
this is-
High five, I didn't
High
know.
five, hey!
He said you were a singer, but he didn't tell me anymore.
Well, because this isn't about me. This isn't about me, so I'm like
Yeah,
chilling.
but
Well, we're-
Oh, it's always about you.
talking-
We
But
know
it was
that
nice meeting you. Yeah,
we're gonna be
that's
changing
what's
the
up.
name to Mandy and Neil Show. It'll go over big. I'm trying to expand my demographic with the women. Instead of being the crazed Neil that I am, I'm just gonna be like, I don't know. I'll just sit here and
You got two redheads on the show.
Yeah,
You got two redheads
exactly.
on the show.
works for me.
You asked for it.
Fuego.
You asked.
I'd never be bored. Oh my God, it's pretty funny. Let's see. So I'm going to play this tune, and then we're going to come back and talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
And you know, how long have you been doing this? I've got to ask you. When did you start singing? Like 5?
Well, just there's no in vitro. You know what? My mother is a singer. My father, like, they're not professional singers. Our community, a very Irish Catholic community, and music and instruments. That's just a part of it. Where did I learn to sing? Sitting on the front steps with the neighbors, with Terry and Geraldine and my sister Christine and the Smiths, sitting there playing the guitar, learning. You know, you had to pick another harmony because she's singing that part, so now you learn another part. That's
Right.
You know, that's really. But there was always music. My parents were fantastic dancers. Everybody loved their dancing. You know, so it was just always there. And so then, as far as bands are concerned, I guess college was the first official band, you know, being in a band, and just kind of went from there. I'm the one singing in the shop, right, embarrassing my children. You know, I'm gonna be
Me too.
wherever. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be singing. There's music on, and I'm going to be singing because that's the way it is.
That's right.
You know?
That's what
You know,
you do. Yeah.
It's amazing to me how many commonalities almost every musician I talk to about when I start, those of us who started really young, it's almost always the same answer. You know, it's just, I don't really know when we started. It just started because it was
just
going
was always.
on. And, you know, my friend's a Cuban guy, and he said, well, in our neighborhood, everybody's a musician. It's not just this activity you start a band. This is just part of the culture on the weekend, like in the Bronx. He's from Puerto Rico, and he said him and all his uncles and cousins, they'd all be out there, and sooner or later somebody just hand you a drum, and you'd just be playing a cumbia. And you know, next thing you know, your uncle's over there showing you another groove, and it's cool because I think music's really, it's the best. I mean, what can I tell you, people? So here we go. We got a little bit of Sharon singing and tearing it up, folks. Sharon Lasher. Oh, there we go. What do I think?
Life in the fast lane, sure make you lose your mind. Life in the fast lane, Are you with me so far? Eagle for action, hot for the game, the coming attraction, the drop of a day. They think over right people, they think over right here, they think I'm ready to party, they think hell.
Where'd you go? I was into it. I was grooved.
Well, it's Friday night and the working week is done. I got my hours in and I think about number one. I don't want to think about working anymore.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're sucked into the abyss right now.
Oh, no, I thought it was me. So there's a good story to go with that particular video.
Ooh, nice.
That was after a gig. So I was in Bell Bottom Blues. Fantastic classic band. Back on.
Life in the fast lane, so make you lose your mind. Life in the fast lane, Are you with me so far? Eagle for action, hot for the game, the coming attraction, the drop of a day. They discover our people, they discover
heavenly bills. Yeah, now.
Going out to Maria.
Nice. Greetings,
so
we are back from the abyss.
Hey, so I was, well, you'll like this story.
Yeah.
So I filed for divorce, and that week I auditioned for a band. I don't know where I saw it. They were looking for a singer, and I've been raising my kids. I haven't been in a band. Yeah. I've been just getting back into karaoke and open mics and all that kind of stuff. So I call up the guy, and it's Lou Caprera, and I say, I want to audition. And he says, well, who are you singing with now? What's your background? And I tell him, I said, look, I'm a really good singer, and I used to sing, and I'm not singing in a band anymore. I've raised my kids, but I can do it. So he was gracious enough to let me come. I'm sure he was rolling his eyes going, oh my God, some housewife is going to come. So I wish I was a fly on the wall in the studio when we had my first audition, because it's a Clapton band. So they said, come with, 3 songs and come to rehearsal. I wish I could have heard them talking and just saying, like, what are you, an idiot? Like, this is going to be so stupid. She doesn't even sing, So I get there, and, I meet the guys, and they weren't expecting somebody like me. And so they said, well, you want to sing first? And I said, the core. You want to sing the core?
Nice.
That's Tina Turner.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're going. I know what you're doing. Yeah.
So
yeah,
they're
that's
like,
what's up.
you want to sing the core? I said, well, you want to hear me sing, don't you? I mean, I can do the harmony on anything you want, but you want to hear me sing, right? So they were just, I know they were like, oh my God. So they crank into it, and I ripped it. And
that's right.
Okay. What else you got? And I was in the band.
That's right. That's right.
I know this from the dress. I know from the dress I was wearing in the video. So that was after a gig, and I was still excited. So we went out afterward, and I just got up and did karaoke at I don't know what the name of the bar is any longer, in the Empress Hotel in Asbury Park on Ocean Avenue. There's Paradise, maybe. Paradise? I don't know if that's the name of the bar, but that's where we went afterward, and that's what that was. Because I always wanted to sing Life in the Fast Lane, and any bands that I would ask, they go like, somebody did. Oh no, I don't know, we can't do it.
I think you did a great job. It's such a tough song.
I love it.
You.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've done it at my last 2 shows. I finally got the guitarist players to do it, so I've done it live at my last 2 shows with my band. It's such a great song.
Yeah.
That was driving into New York City. Well, my girlfriend Denise had a Cordoba.
Oh, the Cordoba. Rich Corinthian leather.
Right. So she would drive. I didn't have a license or anything. She would drive into the city, and that was one of the songs we would crank on the way into the city, going through tunnels. And, like, that's what it brings me back to. That brings me back to 16
those
and 17
beautiful
years old.
jams.
Right?
That's something that we're always talking about.
Them.
Yeah, is like, finding those songs that, not the overplayed ones. Everyone's doing the same shit. You find the things that, like, grab your soul in the unexpected way. Like you said, like, you're driving in the car. It's like, or you're, like, out in the back, like, sneaking a beer, like memories.
Well, it's in a 1966 Mustang convertible, driving down the Parkway singing Bruce Springsteen at the top of your lungs. I mean, that's what I did in 15, 16, 17 years old. And because my friends were cool.
Yeah, right.
Good breeding.
Not me. I wasn't cool. My friends were cool. So, that's
you're pretty cool.
Time, well, I caught up a little bit, but no, that's the time at 15. Actually, that's when my musical life changed at 15 years old. because up until then it was pretty much AM radio, Build Me Up Buttercup until I was, 8th grade. That's really the kind of music that was there. Sugar, Sugar, and all that stuff, which is great fun. Again, learning all my harmonies. But at 15, I just turned 15 in December, and for Christmas, my brother Michael gave me my first Bonnie Raitt album, Home Plate.
Oh,
It was
wow.
Her third album, but my first album.
That is
Life
cool.
changing.
Nice.
Life changing. Because first of all, her voice, her guitar playing, is singular. You know that tone anywhere, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
You know it's her. But she was singing about adult stuff that I had no idea about, but I knew that it was really something. It was very emotional, and none of that other stuff was. It was all really fun, happy stuff, which was great. But all of a sudden, as I'm growing up now, this is now grown-up music that I'm not quite sure what's exactly going on. I haven't had my heart broken yet, so, but that, it was Bonnie Raitt and Jackson Browne, Late from the Sky, those two albums in particular. And then Bruce's first two, which will never be topped. Sorry, Bruce, don't get mad at me. But, the first two albums, that was the musical life change for me, where it was like, that's it.
Boy, and that whole posse of musicians they had together back then, Leland Sklar and Russ Kunkel and Waddy and everybody. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the movie out about the Immediate
Johnny
Family.
Shell and, no.
It's pretty amazing. I got to see the premiere out in San Diego, and now they just did Chicago the other night. They've taken like awards at every film festival, so hopefully we'll all be able to see it on the big screen.
Tell me what it's about. I don't have.
It's about the rhythm section for all of the band. It's like Leland, Waddy, Danny Kuchmar, the drummer. I'm just said his name. I'm having a brain fart.
Was Freebo part of that?
Freebo's part of the same crew. Yeah, you know him. That's cool. It's a small world.
Yeah.
Freebo's great. I mean, what a killer. He does a show every.
All those albums, like you said, everybody. So on the Jackson Browne and Bonnie Raitt albums, John Hall was on them.
Right.
James Taylor.
Yep.
What's his? I can see these people. I can't come up with their names, but they all Taj Mahal. You go back.
Right.
He's playing with Bonnie Raitt back in the early '70s on the records, and then they've done stuff in between, and all of that just brought me to a new place of wanting to learn this incredible music. And
well, I have to say some of that music's incredible. My friend's wife manages Bonnie nowadays, so. Next time she comes through the area, maybe we'll take a ride down, and I'll see what I can do to get us just a nice treatment.
Absolutely. I was at both of the shows at the Beacon. She had 2
All
nights
right.
in a row with Lucinda Williams. I was at both nights.
Oh, right on.
And Jackson Browne had 2 nights in a row, and I was at both nights for Jackson Browne.
Excellent.
And I got Jackson Browne's set list both nights.
Very
Bonnie
cool.
Bonnie wouldn't let anybody have. Which I wonder why. I want to ask that question. She would.
You know who's going to go do some touring that I think you'd probably like is Joni Mitchell's going to go do a few shows.
Yeah, I would definitely. I mean, that's amazing.
Going to go here. I think she's doing a couple in New York and a couple out in L.A. And we'll see more. It's like I said, it's weird. I got more friends out in L.A. that I can get hold of people easier for the show than I do sometimes in New York. But that's okay. It's like, there's so many great, New Jersey and New York players. There's the Brecker brothers running around, and, there's just so many great acts. And most of the ones, even if I don't know them, when I ask them to come on the show, we know someone in common. They can call them up and go, oh, yeah, the show's insane. You'll have a great time. It's chaos. You just wait for somebody weird to call in on the line, which today, what's happened was, I was banned for a month for making a joke on YouTube, which has like 10,000. And the joke was so foolish because I've made jokes on the show that are horrendous. That I thought
funnier. No.
Yes, and
I didn't know YouTube did that. I didn't know. I knew Facebook would put you in jail. I didn't know YouTube put you in jail.
Yeah, they got us because what I said was, a friend of mine's bringing over this gorgeous Ukrainian lady. She's a singer. She's 6 foot tall. She's blonde. She's a goddess. Just look at her and I'm like, wow. I'm just an old guy, but there was a time. Now I'll just have to sit here and stare at her, make her uncomfortable. No, I'm kidding.
Nice.
But at any rate, I said to her, well, when she gets over here to the States, let her know she's never been to New York. And I'll take her around. I'll show her the town. I said, I'll be her escort, meaning like classy, not like drag her up to the hotel and try and do bad things to her. Who knows if they were bad, but I didn't ask her. But at any rate, I just make this joke. I type it in. I get off, and a bunch of my friends are cracking up. They're like, yeah, she's out of your league, dude. But the usual jokes came in. And then I get this I get a nastygram from Facebook. They tell me, you're out of here for 30 days, schmuck, because you were soliciting prostitution. I thought, wow, did I really? I was like, I would have been a little more forward, but I could have been a lot more forward if that's what they thought they wanted.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You have so many great ways to solicit prostitution. You would totally not even do that. Like,
I mean, it was
you wouldn't
dumb.
say it like that.
I mean, I got daughters that creep me out, man. I'm like, do I put up that kind of vibe? What the fuck?
Hell no. Hell no.
At any rate, it was fun. And today's been really fun. It's funny. We're going to have you on, and I thought, well, will she get bored? You've really been great fun. Tell us, where can people get your stuff other than YouTube? I know you've got some CDs out.
Actually, I don't. I have 4.5 songs in the can at Gary Olear Studio. It's Sonoma Beach Studios. But I've kind of been, I got in a car accident in July. Things happen, and to me, to go back to the studio, I have to have the right energy. And
right.
I've been hurt badly, and I don't want to be in the studio. I'm not transmitting this energy.
That's right. That's right.
It's going to take me a little more time. It's been a while, but that's coming. But
Excellent.
I just I've kind of for like I said, because of my personal health and my parents and stuff, I kind of, after all the big, doing 4 or 5 shows every month, I just kind of took a step back. I went to Ireland for my birthday in December last year, a year ago, and was actually standing on my mother's family farm run by cousins, and I never knew there was any living relatives there.
That was such a great story. When I was reading it and really excited for you.
It was amazing.
I mean,
I had no idea.
That's awesome.
This DNA business, So these cousins in New Jersey, I grew up in West Orange, center of the universe. They lived in Nutley, 20 minutes away from me. Never met them. 8 of them, 6 in my family, 8 in their family. And so somewhere in the Lasher and the Cox family, some split. I don't know what the foolishness is. DNA shows up. She contacts me and has a party and lets me come and meet all the family. And then tells me she has this incredible amount of work that she's done, genealogy work. And says, so here's these people, here they are in Roscommon, and they're working your grandmother's farm. And I thought all 4 of them were gone. But the usual Irish story, 4 came to America, 4 stayed home. I was never told about the 4 who stayed home.
Wow.
So I got to meet 2 of them because they were still living.
That's awesome.
Well, this has been fun. I'm going to come see you, and let's hang sometime, and we'll do another interview sometimes where we have more time. And I like to come and see you guys play anyway. I can always use an excuse to go out and hang out for a while.
Well, I gotta come see Mandy now. Now that I have a real person put together with it,
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, it's so great to meet you. You got some pipes. That's what's up.
For sure.
Yeah.
And Neil, I want to talk about the first time you heard me, because that was actually an incredible. There's it's always wonderful, but there's this many few things that happen that are magical. And the night that you saw me was a magical night for me. I was so completely overwhelmed by the emotion of the room. Mandy, you've been to the Saint, right?
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah,
I
I
haven't
love
yet.
Friday.
I'm from New York. Like, I'm a transplant to New Jersey, and some of your story really resonates with me because, like, when this band started, when I was going through a divorce, you know, and learning how to be a single mom.
We have to drink. We have to drink.
We gotta get together.
Yes.
We need some whiskey. We need some Jameson for that.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we've got about 4 minutes, so I want to ride out with one of your songs. And
Okay.
and for anybody watching, if you want to find out about Sharon and the Flashers, Lasher and the Flashers, I just love that band name. God, I wish I thought of it up. But
Excellent.
check her out. Subscribe to her page, New Jersey
Please.
Media
And
Works.
YouTube- Yep, and YouTube is Sharon Lasher Sings. So if you go to YouTube, Sharon Lasher Sings, and you click on the first thing, I'm with JT Bowen and the Red Bank Rockers, and
Right.
and all the social media. And come and hear me sing. All my
Nice,
shows
yes.
are pinned on Facebook. It's pinned right up there.
Excellent.
Well, good. Well,
And thank you.
hopefully, I'm going to make a point of coming to see you. And if Mandy's, not working, I'll make a point of trying to drag her along, and we'll come down and have some fun.
That's right.
Yes, we're
Give
gonna
out
do-
a few
I'll be following
T-shirts,
you, too.
and
I'll be
know.
following you too
And-
now, Mandy.
Thanks.
If you need anything percussion-wise, by the way, I've always got congas
sir.
and all kinds of things. Just give me a holler. I'm around.
That's right.
I get bored. I love
Thank
beating
you.
on shit.
Yeah. Yep. That's right.
Okay, people,
Hey,
we are
thanks-
going to
thanks
log
for
out.
having me on, and I'll see you again.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank
See
you so
later.
much.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday,
Thank you.
everybody.
Oh,
We will
yes.
see you next Friday at 10 a.m., and it's going to be a great time. Here's some Lasher singing Every Time I Roll the Dice. And
All
boy,
right
do I know
now.
that. Now I know that feeling myself. Hence, I don't gamble anymore.
Good decisions.
I don't do any of that
This is at
shit.
the Wonder Bar. Come see me at
There
the
you
Wonder
go.
Bar.
All right, people.
Here we go. She's got a roof that's on leash when the rain's pouring down. He's got a place I can sleep, y'all, where I'm safe and sound. He's got a lock on the door, but he gave me the key. He don't walk the floor, oh, but he worries about me. His love is no strings, no shackles and chains. I'm holding on for dear life. He's like rolling a 7
Bonnie would dig
every
this.
time I roll the dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got a
My
Great
next show
harmonies.
is the whole Bonnie Raitt show. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Gary
He's got a
Oliard
dog that won't
and
bite.
Jimmy Jett and
Right.
Ed Helmstead.
He's got a heart I
Yeah,
can
that's-
steal, y'all.
That's sweet.
Just like a thief
Just
in
like
the
thief
night.
in the night.
He's got a slow,
He's got a slow burning fire.
He keeps his
He
radio
keeps his
low.
radio low.
Yeah, when he gets
He
excited.
gets excited.
Oh, we let
Now
the
we
good
let the
time
good
roll.
time roll.
His love is no
His love
strings,
is no strings.
shackles and chains.
Shackles and chains.
I'm holding
I'm
on
holding
for
on for
dear
dear
life. He's like rolling a 7 every time I roll the dice.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. I get to sing with the greatest musicians here in Asbury. I'm loving it.
That is a
You know,
great
I-
record.
That's what's up.
That is
That's
just
some
such a
Delbert
great
McClinton.
tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go out tonight, and I'll probably go sing with a couple of my friends down the road. That's the beauty of it here. I can go out and sing
Where are you
with
going
a
tonight?
bunch of bands. I'm going down to 10th Avenue Burrito right now to hear
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Blue Highway.
He's
Cool.
Gordon
got
Bunker
a
and Mike Flynn and Gooch and yes.
He's got
Excellent.
a dog that won't bite.
We got the
We'll have
greatest
fun.
music
Got a
around here.
heart I can steal,
Loving my life. Thank you for letting me share with
just
you.
like a thief
I look forward to
in the
seeing you
night.
again.
I look forward to hanging, and it's a small world.
Yeah, we got friends in common. We got to talk about college too.
Nice.
Yeah, when he gets excited, Lord, we let
I'm gonna cut us out pretty quick.
Thank you. This was really fun.
Great fun. Absolutely can't wait to have you back. All right, everybody, we've been here live with Sharon Lasher, with her band, and her other band, the Flashers. People, you do not want to miss this lady. She kicks ass. I know you're going to love her. Call us at Live with Neve. If you need to find her, I'll send her in your way. Every time I roll. Some good stuff. Classic. Have a great one, everybody. We're out of here. Live with Neve is going home. The wonderful Sharon Lasher. Bye-bye, everybody.